Welcome to a presentation on the highlights of Saxony, those to come and those ever present. Saxony is Germany's #1 cultural destination, but as you will see, it also offers beautiful landscapes and many other kinds of attractions. I am Wolfgang Gärtner, Head of International Marketing for Saxony Tourism, and I'm also in charge of the North American markets, the Netherlands and Belgium, as well as most of Asia. My colleague Dorothea Schäffler is in charge of the Polish and Czech markets, as well as Southeast Asia.
I am Chiara Gasparini, and I'm responsible for Austria, Switzerland, and Italy.
Saxony is located in the southeast of Germany, bordering Poland and the Czech Republic, as well as various German states, including Bavaria.
Saxony's best-known destinations are its capital, Dresden, and its largest city, Leipzig.
Dresden is the most beautiful of Germany's large cities. It is famous for its architecture, manifested in its stunning skyline, and its art collections, which are amongst the best in the world. Stretching along the Elbe River for 30 kilometers or 20 miles, Dresden also features a landscape which, according to UNESCO, is the perfect harmony of architecture and nature.
Leipzig, the former trading capital of the world, is a very vibrant city with a completely different character. It is one of the hotspots of contemporary art, has many waterways, and a music history that rivals Vienna's.
Saxony also has numerous towns which have been untouched by war and are perfect for romantic getaways. They include Meissen, the cradle of Saxony, famous for Europe's oldest porcelain; Torgau, the political center of the Reformation, which still looks like in the 16th century when reformer Martin Luther was a frequent visitor; and Görlitz, the largest site of historic monuments in Germany, and for many, Germany's most beautiful town, known to movie makers as Girlywood. Saxony's beautiful landscapes lend themselves to hiking and biking. The most dramatic is the Saxon-Switzerland National Park, named so by two Swiss painters in the 19th century who were teachers at the famous Dresden Art Academy. The rock formations and table mountains were formed at the bottom of an ocean and are very popular with climbers too. Must-sees include the Bastei Rock Formation, which features a panorama restaurant and a hotel, and the unconquered Königstein Fortress, which covers a whole Table Mountain.
Another famous landscape is the Ore Mountains, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which has been shaped by mining for more than 850 years. But Saxony also has another UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Hermann Ludwig Heinrich Prinz von Pückler-Muskau was a man of many talents. He served in various armies, was military governor of Bruges, a real dandy, an avid traveler, a prominent writer, and a ladies' man. But he was also a self-taught genius of landscape architecture whose influence went as far as America. Starting in 1815, he created a huge landscape park around his castle and town. No effort was spared. He resettled the whole village, brought in large amounts of topsoil from elsewhere, and was the first to relocate large trees for his vistas, creating an artificial landscape that looks perfectly natural. After German reunification, the Muskau Park became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, having been revitalized by Saxony and its neighbor Poland, sharing the park grounds since 1945.
Plauen, located in the southwest of Saxony, is famous for Plauen lace, the first made by machines. The town's rich textile history is illustrated in a newly opened museum, the so-called Thread Factory, which is located in an amazing building from the 18th century, which looks like a palace, but was actually built as a textile manufactory.
In April this year, Coldis Castle was reopened to the public. It is most famous as a prisoner of war camp for high-ranking Allied officers in World War II, who were united in their wish to escape as quickly as possible. Their amazing stories and previously inaccessible rooms can now be explored with a histopad, a tablet which makes history come alive.
Saxony has a large number of castles and palaces, so do not miss our other tutorial, which focuses on this subject. Europe's oldest porcelain manufactory, which is called Meissen, just like the town it calls its home, offers a wealth of experiences. One of the annual highlights is a weekend in April, when Meissen opens up its production area to the public. However, behind-the-scenes tours are now available all year round.
Saxony is well known for handcrafted products. They also included the high-end watches from the town of Glashütte, the Moravian stars, or the wooden products from the Ore Mountains, most famously the Nutcracker, invented in the village of Seifen, and the 11-dot angel by Wendt und Kühn.
Some great experiences are related to this. Why not assemble and decorate a nutcracker or roll an incense cone for a smoking man figurine? Paint your own mug at Meissen and have it mailed to you after it has been fired. Drive a Porsche at their Leipzig factory, do a bobsleigh ride in Altenberg, or whitewater rafting at the Olympic training facility in Markkleeberg.
On the 1st of May, the ships of the Saxon Steamboat Company assemble for the annual parade. It is the oldest and largest steamboat fleet in the world. There are rides all year round, and a trip from the city center to Pilnis Palace, the former summer palace of the Saxon kings, is a must-do while in Dresden.
Historical means of transport are held in high regard in Saxony. There are 5 steam-powered narrow-gauge train lines still in daily operation. Dresden has a hanging tram, while Döbeln even operates a horse-drawn one.
Amongst the culinary highlights of Saxony is wine as sparkling wine, produced along the banks of the Elbe River for more than 850 years. This year, the Saxon Wine Museum will celebrate its 100th anniversary. It is located at Hoflößnitz, the former royal winery in Radebeul, a suburb of Dresden.
Radebeul is one of the centers of winemaking in Saxony. Its most popular site is the Wackerbad Castle Saxon State Winery, Germany's first event winery. It can be easily reached from Dresden by tram. Meissen is the other center. The wine restaurant Vinzenz Richter at the Market Square is one of the most romantic places in Germany. And up on the hill, the Proschwitz winery of Dr. Georg Prinz zur Lippe has won many awards. Every year in September, both Radebeul and Meissen host a wine festival.
In June and July, Leipzig will host 4 games of the European Football or Soccer Championship. Big names like the Netherlands, Italy, or France will play in the stadium of one of Germany's top clubs, RB Leipzig. All games of the tournament will be televised on Augustus Square, where other entertainments for fans will also be offered. Leipzig knows how to party, and the city has a great nightlife.
Enough talk about cities and towns. Let's talk about Saxony's most famous village, which will celebrate its 700th anniversary in July. Seifen started as a mining place in the Ore Mountains. But when mining became unprofitable, the Seifeners started to create wooden products. First, household goods like plates and cutlery, then toys, and then Christmas ornaments. The nutcracker and the smoking man were invented in Seifen. There's even a profession which is unique to Seifen, the wheel turner, creating animal shapes from a spinning wooden wheel. Absolutely amazing.
Equally amazing is what Saxony offers when it comes to classical music.
The Moritzburg Festival is considered to be one of the best chamber music festivals in the world. Founded in 1993 by 3 young musicians and modeled after the Marlborough Music Festival in Vermont, it brings together established artists and young talents from all over the world. Its main venue is the picturesque Moritzburg Castle, close to Dresden, which was originally erected as a hunting lodge. Later, it was enlarged to its present size to also serve for all kinds of festivities. During the COVID pandemic, concerts had to be moved outside to the terrace. This proved to be so popular that this arrangement has been kept. Since the castle, located on an island in a lake, is surrounded by woodlands, the music merges with the equally beautiful sounds of nature.
The Moritzburg Festival is a highlight of every summer, but in Saxony, you can find everything from the production of musical instruments to the final performance by famous orchestras and choirs in famous venues like Dresden's splendid Semper Opera House. There are many authentic sites to visit, like the birthplace of Robert Schumann, the grave of Johann Sebastian Bach, the summer house of Richard Wagner, or the apartment of Felix Mendelssohn.
Caspar David Friedrich was the most famous painter from the Romantic period in Germany. He spent most of his life in Dresden and is buried on the Trinitatis Cemetery. A monument for him was erected on Bruhl's Terrace, known as the Balcony of Europe. Many of Friedrich's work can be found in the Albertino Museum and in the Royal Palace. On the occasion of his 250th birthday, there will be a large exhibition in both locations. Since Caspar David Friedrich drew inspiration from many places in Saxony, it is also possible to follow his footsteps to the Saxon Switzerland National Park, Meissen, the Altzeller Monastery Park, and the Zittau Mountains.
Both exhibition venues are museum sites of the Dresden State Art Collections. Founded in 1560, they also include the Greenwald Treasury Museum in the Royal Palace, the Porcelain Collection in the Dresden Zwinger, and the Old Masters Picture Gallery in the Semper Building on Theatre Square, amongst others. This year, 2 new museums will be added: the Archive of the Avant-Gardes in the Blockhaus on the Elbe River, and the Puppet Theatre Museum in the former Kraftwerk Mitte power station.
In Saxony, cars have been made for more than 120 years. In 1909, engineer August Horch founded Audi in Zwickau, actually not his first car company.
Brilliant automotive engineer August Horch established his own company in Zwickau in 1904, making Horch the #1 luxury car brand in Germany before World War II. 5 years later, he was kicked out of his own company and, due to his good reputation, was able to establish a new one in the same town. Since he needed a new brand name, he translated his surname, which means listen in German, into Latin, and Audi was born. Later, Audi was merged with Horch and 2 other Saxon car manufacturers. These 4 brands were then symbolized by 4 interwoven rings, which still can be found on every Audi. Today, the original Audi factory is the award-winning August Horch Museum.
Production in Zwickau carries on in a new factory by Volkswagen, where electric vehicles from various Volkswagen-owned brands are made. It is one of 4 car factories in Saxony, and all of them can be visited. BMW produces cars in Leipzig, where also the largest of the Porsche factories can be found. The factory's own racetrack and mud track offer great driving experiences. The most unusual car factory in the world is the so-called Transparent Manufactory in Dresden, where visitors can just walk in and have a look around.
There are many great art museums in Saxony. Those in other cities tend to be overshadowed by Dresden's, like the Gunzenhauser Museum in Chemnitz. The Museum of Fine Arts in Leipzig also offers a fantastic collection. It celebrates the 20th anniversary of its present location this year with a big Rembrandt exhibition. Another great one is the Grassi Museum, which is actually 3 museums in one, including a fantastic music instruments museum. It was founded in Leipzig 150 years ago.
Leipzig has another claim to fame. It was the independent-minded Leipzigers who brought the communist regime of East Germany down. On October 9th, 1989, 70,000 people marched from St. Nicholas Church to the headquarters of the secret police, peacefully and with candles in their hands. This event led to the crumbling of the old order and is commemorated every year with the Festival of Lights. There's also a fantastic museum in the city center called, translated, Contemporary History Forum. It illustrates how Germany was divided and reunited, and there's no admission charge.
Saxony has seen many other events which were significant to world history. The Reformation has been mentioned before. In October 1813, Napoleon had to face his real Waterloo in the Battle of Leipzig, where 500,000 soldiers fought the biggest battle in history up to this point. An impressive monument is a worthy reminder of this monumental event. And in April 1945, American and Russian troops met for the first time in Torgau, where the famous picture of a handshake was taken on the bridge across the Elbe River.
A German Christmas would not be the same without Saxony. Take the famous Stollen Christmas cake, only authentic if it comes from Dresden. Stollen baking classes are offered during the Christmas season. Dresden Striezelmarkt, which opens in late November, is the oldest Christmas market in Germany. The Christmas ornaments from the Ore Mountains, like the Nutcracker, the Smoking Man, the Candle Arch, and the Pyramid, are a must, as are the Moravian stars, still made in Herrnhut today, where the Moravian church was founded. And gingerbread from Pulsnitz is most delicious. For unique Christmas traditions, a visit to the Ore Mountains is recommended, where the Neinala is also served, a Christmas dish with 9 components, standing for 9 good wishes for the new year.
Let's have a quick look at some of the highlights of 2025. One of the most famous restaurants in the world, the Auerbach's Keller in Leipzig, will celebrate its 500th anniversary. It started out as a cellar where wine was served, and it was made immortal by Germany's national poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Inspired by 2 depictions of the Faust legend that he admired when he was a student in Leipzig, he wrote his magnum opus Faust, in which the devil rides a wine barrel in this now equally legendary place.
Chemnitz will be one of the European capitals of culture in 2025, putting Saxony's 3rd largest city in the spotlight. Known as the cradle of German engineering and Karl-Marx-Stadt or Karl Marx City during the communist times, Chemnitz has a long cultural tradition.
Next year will be the 14th anniversary of the reopening of one of the most famous opera houses in the world, the Semperoper in Dresden. Destroyed in World War II, it was painstakingly reconstructed down to the last detail. Named after its architect Gottfried Semper, it is also the concert hall of the Staatskapelle Dresden, or Saxon State Orchestra, which has been performing continuously for 475 years. And it is considered to be one of the best orchestras in the world.
In 2025, the reconstruction of Dresden's historic city center will come to a conclusion. The same is true for the Royal Palace, one of the must-sees in Dresden.
Dresden's Royal Palace is like a world of its own. Expanded to present size in the middle of the 16th century, it offers beautiful architecture and exquisite art. Destroyed in World War II, it was rebuilt as a museum for the Dresden State Art Collections. Thus, it combines splendid historic rooms, reconstructed to the last detail, with modern museum rooms, where the focus is on the exhibits. Visitors are able to take a journey through the Renaissance and the Baroque ages. There are many unique pieces of art to be found along the way, since the collection is considered to be one of the best in the world. Knights tournaments, often seen as a thing from the Middle Ages, were held in the beautiful stable yard until the 18th century, as illustrated in the Hall of Giants.
Saxony has been one of the pioneers of accessible travel. Please check out our website for detailed information on this subject.
Sustainability also plays an important role. A great example is the scenic village of Schmilka in the Switzerland National Park region. Almost deserted after German reunification, it has been revived as an organic resort, which comprises most of its houses, including a bakery, a brewery, and various forms of accommodation.
Saxony has two airports, Dresden and Leipzig-Halle. Berlin Airport and Prague Airport are both just 1.5 hours away from Dresden. Dresden and Leipzig are also part of the ICE high-speed train network, and there are various Autobahn motorways connecting Saxony with major cities like Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich, and Prague, as well as Wrocław and Krakow.
Please check out our B2B website. It contains useful information like sample itineraries and access to photos and other media. And do subscribe to our newsletter. Instead of /B2B, just type /newsletter. We would like to thank you for your time and your interest in Saxony.
Do not hesitate to contact us if you need more information or any form of assistance.
Spread the word. We wish you lots of success and happiness. Bye.
Bye.